Hello everyone, how are you all doing today? It's wonderful in the future, Rich. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't want to spoil the surprise though. It's a great day though. Hi Sammy, I saw your comment. It's not just popped up in my eCam because it was before I technically went live. So you're very keen today. Great to see you here. Hi Jeff, UK contingent. And yeah, well, there's still a little bit work to do on that, but I'll come to that a bit later. Hi, Rich, and hi, Vincent. Great to see you here as well. So yes, I am. That's I say the point of this live stream. I always have some sort of topic, don't I? But I usually go totally off topic anyway. So we will come to that though. Some plans afoot for a proper studio space. Finally, escape from the basement and also escape from the green screen. But I'll come on to that in a little bit. Hope you're all doing well. I've just got to say before I get into everything, I'm really liking the Ecamm fam jams. So if you are an Ecamm user, which I know you all are, obviously watching this now, then yeah, these sort of Zoom meetings, which I'm not sure the exact schedule of them going forward, but they will be pretty regular in the Ecamm Live Facebook group, and then there's a link posted to the Zoom where basically just come together and get a bit of work done. And yeah, I know obviously most of you in the chat were there as well. The time zones may not have worked for you, Jeff, but there will be other ones at other times as well. So basically just a Zoom meeting where we get together and just get some work done really in the company of friends. It did make me laugh. A few people have asked for, are the recordings available? I don't think it's one of these ones you want to watch a recording of. It's basically just, a group of people heads down getting some work done. So but yeah, really great idea. Yeah, I've just got to say, yeah, if you haven't checked them out already, then definitely look out for them in the Ecamm group. Hey, Aubrey, nice to see you. Yeah, so I'll crack on with basically my my update that I usually do, my channel update. I'm trying out something today. Look at that. Let me just pop this up as well and say, hi, Paul. Now look at this. No hands. The comment's gone. I'm using my foot pedals. Hey, Albert, great to see you as well here. Nice to see you. So yeah, let me crack on with my my update on my channel as I always do at the beginning of my weekly live streams. So we are going, obviously, for those that haven't been watching for the past 176 days. I'm aiming for 365 videos in my first year on YouTube, and today is week 25, day 176. And I fell a little bit further behind this week, to be honest, but don't worry, I've got a cunning plan. So I did basically 3 long form videos and then also this live stream. I always count the live streams as one of the 365. So technically 4 videos will have been done this week. So I'm basically 22 videos behind. You can see there 154 videos on day 176. So I've got a bit of catching up to do. But like I say, I've got a bit of a plan about that, so I'll mention that in a moment. For those that are interested, my subs have gone up by I think it was 40 that they've gone up this week. My watch hours, I'm now over the 4,000 watch hours that you need for the monetization on YouTube. Not that that's going to be a big a big lump of money coming in or anything like that, but it is just one of those goals, isn't it? It's just to hit that level. So I am still aiming obviously for the 1,000 subs. It would be nice to just get to that level and then see where it goes from there as well. And so the watch hours 4,200 and the views is 42,000. So I will just have a quick look at these stats because I haven't really actually looked at these since well, I say I actually haven't looked at these since last week, in fact, on the live stream. So for the analytics, what I always do on this is just change it to the lifetime. Oops, let me get that thing off the screen. Don't want to block out all of that, do we? Change it to lifetime just so we can see sort of how it's progressed since I started. So yeah, there is the channel starting on the I actually set up the channel on the, what was it, the 13th of April, I think it was. But then I spent like a month actually just getting that was literally when I had the idea and thought, right, I'll open the channel, and then I actually did my first live stream basically a month later. So it was a month of just sort of getting stuff ready, getting all my overlays, setting up Ecamm and all that sort of stuff. So I'd literally done absolutely nothing at that time. So that's what that flat line is. And then it sort of hovered around this sort of area, sort of pretty much consistent for about 4 months. And then it had this sort of jump up, and It's been a bit erratic since then, but that's because my posting has been a bit erratic over the past 4 weeks. Last week was actually all right, pretty consistent. I did 7 videos in the week. This last week, though, as I say, it would be 4, and then the week before that, there was 1 or 2. So I had a few sort of erratic weeks, and so that's why you can see it sort of fluctuating widely over this this sort of period in here. In terms of the watch time, then it's basically the watch time goes up when I post and it goes down when I don't. It's as simple as that. So like this last week, you can see that the week before I had quite a lot of, my watch time was quite high on a sort of daily basis. And then it sort of tailed off at the end of this week, since my videos have tailed off at the end of this week. So I'm not, as I say, I'm never too bothered about the stats, but it's always interesting, isn't it? Subscribers, they've dropped off a little bit in terms of sort of daily subscribers, not my overall. And that, again, is because they go up when I post and they don't go up when I don't. It's as simple as that. So yeah, that's what the stats look like. And yeah, I keep saying this, but I will get back to regular posting. I do feel like I'm out of my routine, to be honest, for the past month, sort of out of the overall swing of it, of just getting up, doing a video and then putting it out. So yeah, there's just been things that have popped up. And this week, so let me get the excuses out of the way, shall I? What are the excuses this week? Well, I got my loop deck last Sunday, so I did my my loop deck unboxing and first reactions. And what I actually did was I nearly scheduled this live stream a week in advance after getting the loop deck. I nearly scheduled it with the title like 1 week of loop deck sort of thing with it. It was going to be a full rundown of all of my experience of using it and setting it up and everything like that. It's a good job I didn't do that, because I'll be totally honest, I haven't actually done any further setup other than that initial video that I did, which is totally not like me. Normally, any new gadget, that's it. I'm all into it until I totally fully understand it and it's all set up. It's just that other things have got in the way this week, and I'm really surprised by it. But yeah, glad I didn't go ahead and schedule that that video, that live stream rather, because I wouldn't have had much to say. My foot pedals arrived on the day after that, so I did a video on that. And what I had planned to do then was do my Keyboard Maestro beginner series, because I did do the Beginner's Guide to Keyboard Maestro video 1, but I'm sort of missing 2 to 5, which was the rest of it. And I started that months ago, actually, and it was just one of those ones that I did, and I was going to drip out the others going forward. But then on last week's live stream, I was having a chat and getting valuable input, and it was decided that what I need to do is just, when I do these guides and things like that, just have like a focus of 1 week where I'm focused on one specific thing, get the series of videos out, and then the next week I can move on to like another thing, and so on and so forth. So that was the plan. And so that was going to be this week. I was going to finish that Keyboard Maestro series. So then what happened? On Tuesday, Keyboard Maestro 10 came out, and it was just like a massive update. It was absolutely massive. In fact, let me just quickly show you the release notes. So here are the release notes. There's 165 new features in it. It's just ridiculous. It's an absolutely massive update. So I thought, rather than go ahead and finish making my series, what I need to do is actually just dig into all of this and see the implications of it, because there are some pretty cool new features. So I won't go through them now, because literally we'd be here for the rest of my day, and it's 5 o'clock in the morning here, so it would be a long stream. So I'm going to go and just summarize all of them and pull out the ones that I need to include in the beginner's guide and stuff like that. And so I'll get that done. So that's part of the reason why I didn't do my videos, because I've instead of spending I'm quite limited on time really for my YouTube stuff. So I just have really it's kind of like a 2-hour window in the morning when I just need to get up, make a video and get it out. And then if I sort of miss that, I've kind of missed the boat really, because I've just got other stuff to do. So I'm quite strict about like the time that I can allocate to it. So although I have made a couple of videos in the afternoon in the last couple of weeks, I have found the time to I've made the time. As Doc said, it's not that we don't have the time, it's that we haven't made the time. So in fact, the one that I put out yesterday, or this morning for you, whichever, that I actually did last night, my time, at like 7 o'clock in the evening. So I have been trying to make time in other spaces, but don't like to take too much time away from. That's kind of like my family time before bed and so on. But I did just get that out last night. In fact, that was about Squarespace and specifically doing URL redirects, because quite a lot of people ask about this, and people talk about things like Rebrandly and things like that. So, for example, like if I put up my my link for people to join the interview, my Ecamm Live interview link, then I shorten it with takeonetech.io/join, or my Ecamm affiliate link is /Ecamm, or all those sorts of things. And people talk about using a service like Rebrandly and things like that to do it with, and that is good because you can get all of the tracking and stuff like that with it. But for me, I'm just doing it with my with Squarespace basically, and you can do it with any of these providers. So whether you're on Wix or WordPress or things like that, you can add these links in. So and specifically, Michael had actually asked me about it, so I thought, well, I'll just make a video and share it with everyone else as well. So that's why I made that video a little bit late last night. But yeah, the point was, I am a bit short of time, so for actually making the content. So if I sort of miss the boat, I've missed it really, and so. Got to get back to my regular scheduling and try and get back into it. But the other thing is, I've also been, as I may have alluded to in the title of this, and if you've seen I posted it in several places, Instagram, Twitter, and also in my community tab as well. So we've got this sort of space in the, it's actually a little cottage at the end of the garden, actually. A little room at the end of the garden with like a bathroom and a living room, not living room, actually a bedroom, bathroom, and so on. It's just been empty for, good couple of years, but just full of stuff basically. So it's just been one of those rooms in the house that's just basically got stuff in it. So it's a storeroom basically. So I cleared it all out the other day, and I thought, well, what am I doing down here in the basement when I could actually just have this whole space as a studio? And it's much bigger than this at the moment. So where I am at the moment is basically, it's not much bigger, but it's 12 foot by about 8 foot, something like that. So in there, it's actually 12 by 12, but it's just not in a basement. The ceilings aren't as low. It's just a better space all around really. So I'm going to be doing a proper sort of studio in there really. So getting rid of the green screen. I'll still keep the green screen actually, but just for some of the other stuff that I do with the Ecamm. But for the YouTube stuff and for my day-to-day sort of stuff for Zoom meetings and things like that, I'll just have a like a proper studio space for it. So that is the sort of loose topic of this of this stream really, because I've got quite a few things to think about with it. And yes, indeed, Rich. It's about time, really, because it's also I can experiment with things doing that as well. So I'm looking forward to just trying out some of the things. There's lots of things I'm obviously learning in the community as well. All of the things that we do in office hours where we're talking about setups and stuff like that. So it would be good to actually put some of those into practice, because I basically haven't really altered anything about my setup since I started. And although I did do a load of obviously research and things like that before I got everything set up, there's probably things that I could tweak and so on. I'll probably update my change my lighting setup. So some people say that my lighting's all right, but to be honest with you, there's nothing scientific about it. It's literally just I've just flooded everything with light. That's all I've done. I haven't done any sort of nuanced lighting or anything like that. So I'll be interested to play around with that. And in specifically, let me tell you what I've got at the moment. I've basically got two really low cost soft boxes. So they're the sort of rectangular ones that you can get from Amazon or wherever, or your favorite local retailer. And there's nothing special about them. They're just sort of generic soft boxes. You can change the color temperature by changing the light bulbs, and it's got a head for basically 4 regular light bulbs. So you can change the color temperature by changing the light bulbs. If you want to change the brightness of it, take a bulb out. It is literally that level of adjustment. So my approach was just like flood the scene with light, and then the real thing is basically just the background. So and it's interesting that it's hello tutor to you. I can't remember your name actually. I'm not sure if I've seen you on here before, but let me know your name so I can call you by your name. It's interesting that you mentioned about Pro Acoustic Panels. So I am actually going to make some acoustic panels, and I found the locally sourced material to use for those, the acoustic foam and stuff like that. Ah, Jim. Great. Nice to meet you, Jim. So where I am at the moment in my basement, it's quite lucky really, because it's a sealed unit basically that nothing ever changes. You know, the sound is always the same, although it's not ideal actually down here for sound, but there you go. And then it's there's obviously no change in lighting and things like that, whereas in the cottage studio, there are windows in there. So first of all, there's issues with potential sound there as well. There'll be more sound from outside, although it's pretty quiet. It's like we're pretty remote really, and then we've just got this in the garden. So what it's going to be is really the kids that are going to be the main sound issue. But I get that anyway in here because the living room is directly above. So, but I tend to record before they're awake, which is kind of my secret trick there. So it probably won't be an issue in that sense, but then there is the light obviously as well. So what I'd thought was I will be making some general acoustic panels to put on the walls, but I'm also going to have like a sliding rail that goes over the top of the window. So the acoustic panels, I will have some in front of the windows that are basically going to slide across the window to cover the window up for, act as basically a blackout, but then also it will stop the sound coming through. The other thing is, in this room where I am, I've got a big aircon unit over on the wall there. I use Audio Hijack to get rid of the noise from it, but the compressor I actually had put quite a considerable distance away, so you never actually hear the noise of the compressor. Whereas often with aircon units, the installers will just put the unit. The compressor unit on the outside will tend to be just fairly close by on the wall on the other side. So we definitely don't want to have a compressor on the other side of the studio wall basically. So I'm gonna have to think about routing that one and put it a little bit further away so that we don't get the sound. And do you know what, Sammy? So recreate the green screen setup in real life. I actually really thought about doing that. It's a great idea, that is, and I did think about that. I'm probably not going to do that though, just because of it's going to actually be my working space. So I'm going to set it up exactly as I need it for my work, and then hopefully that translates over. I will obviously be painting the walls grey to the taking the color code that Doc recommended, and get my back wall at least colored grey so I can still sort of light it properly. But then in terms of the like in here I've just got a desk, but then I want to have a desk and then also a workbench, because I do some other stuff like whatever it happens to be, electronics or things like that. So I'll be having that, and I may end up throwing in a few extra videos about stuff related to that, because on this channel I obviously tend to just do screen demos and the occasional top down, but there is some other stuff that I think is pretty relevant that I could also do if I had a setup that was a bit different to allow me to sort of film that without adding any friction. So I don't want to get into having to take cameras off and film and edit or all that sort of stuff. But if I had a slightly different setup that would allow me to demo some of that and do it in the same sort of frictionless way that you can do, or that I do with Ecamm, then I'll definitely probably add some of that into the mix. And so I just going back through the thing here. So I did actually forget to mention, and I've just noticed your comment, Vlogmas. So that is my that is the trick that I've got up my sleeve, because I will be doing Vlogmas, by the way, to catch up with my videos. So that's obviously 31. So hopefully that should just, if I keep doing my other videos as well, which I intend to, then that will just get me back ahead. And Vlogmas, I'm going to do, that's going to be separate to my regular videos. So I am going to carry on doing the tutorial style stuff, and then my Vlogmas videos will be completely separate to that. Because obviously the point of Vlogmas, I suppose to a degree, is for people who aren't actually posting, to get them into regular posting. So I'm obviously posting, so what I want to do is do something that's going to stretch me a little bit. So I figured, well, if I just do 2 a day, then that's stretching me from what I should be doing at the moment. But I also saw it as an opportunity to do some sort of different sort of content. I may even, for those ones, do some editing as well. I might actually make some edited videos, because that would be certainly a little bit out of my comfort zone. I have done editing before. I just hate it, to be honest. I really do hate it because I am my own worst enemy. But yeah, I figured that if I do for that, what my videos will be is kind of a bit more about sort of my background, because I tend to talk here obviously about all the stuff that I'm doing for the channel and tutorials and stuff like that. But I could probably share a little bit more about sort of my background and how I ended up being the broken individual that I am today, happily broken. So yeah, that was the idea with that. And I should have turned my phone on to silent, shouldn't I? That's very rude. Do beg your pardon. Let me do that right now. I don't know how that isn't actually. It should be on automatic because of the time of day. But anyway, there you go. So yeah, Vlogmas will certainly help me get my my numbers back up. And let me just have a quick look at this before I get too far ahead of these. It does feel like that. Yeah, I've got so I can just pop the comment off, pop it on, pop it off, pop it on, all with my feet. So let me have a little look. Yeah, so the other thing is, although for my videos the time of day that I do them, I don't really get any issues with noise because the kids are in bed. But I do notice when I'm on Zoom calls in the middle of the day, if they're running and jumping upstairs, the noise just does come through, because the houses in Thailand are generally, well, relatively modern houses tend to be concrete, so concrete columns and beams and concrete slab floors and things like that. So what that means is if people are running about, or little feet are running about upstairs, or jumping off the sofa or things like that, then the noise translates down directly. So I don't get an issue with the videos, but I do sometimes in my my professional work, when I do actually need things to be a little bit more professional and quiet. Sometimes it can be an issue, but so yeah, moving to the other studio space will be definitely help with that. Of course, you know what's going to happen. They're just going to start running around and playing directly outside of there. They're going to decide that now the garden's the place to be. They're done with the living room. Let's go and play in the garden in front of Daddy's studio. Never mind. And yes, more space, more gear acquisition syndrome. I do want to be quite mindful of that though, and just sort of, because part of the reason for me doing things the way that I did with this channel was I did see, when I was doing all my research before setting up the channel, all of the people who do follow, what's the absolute latest camera, the latest lighting, the latest this, that, and the other, and feeling like they've got to have all of that before they get started. And so that was kind of why, I took the approach I did. I basically bought this microphone. I suppose I did buy the Stream Deck, arguably for the channel as well, although I now use that for everything. So it certainly helps, but it's not something you absolutely need to make videos, especially if you're editing, obviously. But I'm obviously all against that. And so yeah, it was a case of I did want to be conscious about like not going out and buying all the latest stuff to start the channel with. So I'm still on my 10-year-old Canon. I am getting a ZV E10 though at some point in the near future. There's a bit of supply issues with it in Thailand, actually, so I've got to sort that out. And then, the lights, as I say, they're just generic stuff. I mean, there were, what were they now? I think in Thai baht, for two of them, it was like 1,000 baht or something like that, 1,500. So basically like $50, $50 light boxes, and the bulbs you supply yourself from the local hardware store. And that's really all that I kind of bought for the channel, I suppose. Oh, I've got these two little Ulanzi lights on the side that I used to put a little bit of colour onto either side of my head to sort of simulate the background a little bit for what good that does, but that isn't totally necessary. So it was intended to be a kind of to sort of dispel the myth, really, that you need to have all the latest and greatest, and you can just actually make a start with whatever you've got, or limited investment. And as I say, I just invested in a microphone because I think audio is the first port of call, as everyone will tell you. Microphone, lighting, and then camera. So I still haven't got around to doing the camera. So although I have added extra stuff in as I've gone along, like with the Lilliput and the Desview T3 teleprompter that I use, again, it's not essential. So I want to bear that in mind with the studio as well, and just sort of add things in progressively as I go. But I will need some stuff for setup. yes, so the cottage is not yet hardwired. So that is one of the things I've got to do. I'm basically going to design the desk and everything like that. In fact, that's what I was doing on the Zoom call that we had yesterday in the Ecamm group, the Ecamm Fam Jam co-working Zoom session. I was actually making a 3D model of it because I'm like that. My architectural tendencies come back, flooding back, and yes, I've been making a 3D model of the desk that I want to make, and then the shelving and all that sort of stuff, and making sure that everything fits in. Yeah, I've got to hardwire it for Ethernet, got to do a bit of painting in there, got to do a few other little setups and things like that, mounting things to the wall. So my lights I've got mounted to the wall. I've got made some brackets that stick to the wall, and then they've got the little spigots that your lights or fittings can drop onto. So yeah, I've got to do quite a bit. So I would guess it's probably going to be like a month actually before I actually start doing stuff properly in the studio, because I've got a bit of planning and making and stuff like that to do. Yeah, so I've seen a few different. I've obviously gone to the University of YouTube, and the wood panels, and then I'm going to make them. So I've found a supplier here that does proper like acoustic foam, which comes in sort of big sheets. And so what I'm going to do is use wood and then the acoustic foam inside, and then it's not that I have actually got some of the really crappy, for want of a better word, foam panels, you know, the really sort of thin ones that you see people with stuck to the wall in here, just because the acoustics weren't good in this room at all. It is basically this basement room is I'm essentially in a swimming pool. A concrete, it's like a foot thick concrete all the way around, and tiled floor, and actually half tiled wall as well. So it's not ideal for acoustics. So I did get some of those like sort of cheap foam panels to put on the wall here, just to help do something. Whether or not they do, I mean, to be honest, the mic and the noise cancellation is pretty good anyway. So it's probably more a factor of that. But for the for the acoustic panels, I'm going to make some with wooden frames and the material over front. So and yeah, that is. I actually saw that one made with the towels, and it was pretty good. That was. I saw that exact video. I'm pretty sure it was that one, or at least I saw one guy doing that. And so who is calling me at 5 a.m. I won't tell them I won't tell you the name. It's actually a Facebook message. It's not a call, but I'll message you privately and let you know. Do you sign up for Vlogmas, and when does it start? And will other have an opportunity to follow? Yeah, anybody can do it. So with it's actually a thing, not just for the Let's Get Live group or Docs group. So if you search on YouTube for Vlogmas, you'll find that people all over the world are doing it, and it's just a thing of doing a vlog, a video log, a sort of whatever you want to call it, every day. And I think usually it's from the 1st until the 25th, until December. But we're doing it basically every day in December, so over Christmas as well. And I was uninitiated until Rich sent me the link to so in the LGL group, the ones from last year. So basically the thing was, everybody just makes you make your own videos, post them to your YouTube channel, but then there's somewhere in the Let's Get Live group where you can post them, and then potentially they did last year, there would be like a sort of daily review of all of the videos and things like that. So just short videos, I don't know the exact length, maybe like 5 minutes, something like that. And then there was a bit of a thing around sort of reviewing the videos of the day and so on. So it's really just intended to be a thing of like getting involved with it. There's no sign up as such necessary. It's just a case of doing your videos and then posting them on your channel, and then posting a link to the channel in the group and so on. So that's the point of it. And people do different things. And the thing that I'm going to do is just something different to what I'm normally doing. I suppose I could just post my regular videos and wear a Santa's hat or something, but that would seem to defeat the object. So I'm going to do something a little bit different with my my Vlogmas videos. Well, no, we didn't. You may have gathered I'm just catching up with my comments here. So no, you didn't miss anything yet. We haven't built anything at all. All I've done is started to create a little 3D model in virtual space. And it's interesting, Greg, that no, the cottage isn't elevated off the ground for sound dampening. However, crucially, it is elevated off the ground slightly, in that you have to step up into it, whereas in my basement you have to step down into it. And we've got a problem in this house because The geniuses who had this house before us decided you get problems with termites in Thailand, and so it's not unusual to have anti-termite systems, basically, which is a system of pipes underneath the house that you can pump in basically insecticide to stop termites coming up and causing damage underneath the house. Well, what they decided to do here was retrofit this, but because there is a basement, what they thought was, well, if we just drill through the walls, then we can inject it in all around the basement floor as well. However, what that meant is they actually penetrated the water seal that you have in a basement. And so what happens here is, as I had to cancel one of my live streams, if we have extreme rain and we've got like a creek running around the side of our house, and if the water level in that comes up too much, then basically the whole water table rises and we start to get water seeping into the basement. It only happens very rarely, and it hadn't happened for years, but then it obviously happened this year when I was live streaming, or at least the day before. So it's not elevated off for sound dampening, but it is high enough off the ground that I don't have to worry about flooding, which is a little added bonus. And there you go. So no sign-ups, just make and post videos every day for the whole month of December. So yeah, I am going to do a little bit of editing for it. I'm just going to stick up my join link. If anybody fancies coming on and joining for a chat, I'm sorry, I just remembered what you did in office hours, Rich, and that would have been hilarious if you had popped onto my live stream last week. I think they sort of say 5 to 10 minutes, something like that. Hey, Kath. Glad you could make it. I know it's not the best hour for you. So great to see you here. I hope you enjoyed the session, the Zoom session yesterday, and got some work done. I got quite a lot done. In fact, I've got a little thing for that, haven't I? Hang on, where is it? There you go. Oops. Yeah, I'll tell you what it is. It's in the wrong scene. That was a bit silly. Where have I put it? It was this one. There we go. The Ecamm Fam Jam. So it's going to be a regular thing in the Ecamm Live community. And there'll be some of them run by Docs. I'll run some of them. Then there'll be people in other time zones running them, like Chris Wood in the UK, and obviously Paul, I'm sure, and other people as well. So it can just become a sort of regular thing. And there's something quite, it's something quite nice, really, about just sitting there and getting on with your work. But you've got, in the company of other people, really, really good thing. So it's just going to be posted in the group. And then watch out for the links, and I will probably keep the same links going forward, like per person, because obviously Doc will be using his account, I'll be using mine, and so on. But yeah, really useful. So back to the studio though. I've just got to think about. We had a few music issues. The other thing was they were planned for a year. They were planned for an hour to begin with, and so Doc had made a 1 hour. Well, actually, it was about a 2 hour playlist, but we ended up going for nearly 3 hours yesterday. So we need to get a longer playlist. I still haven't figured out, by the way, Paul, that thing with Epidemic and the playlist. I just didn't have that feature. What was the feature? The I can't remember now. There was a feature. What was it called? It was not playlist, it was something else. But anyway, it just wasn't showing up in my menu, so I still haven't got to the bottom of what was going on with that. Hello, Greg. Let me just let you in. Put you on guest number 1. I've got no picture. That is Greg behind the mystery picture. But we've got no picture, Greg. I don't know if you can hear me at all. I looked everywhere for it, Paul. And it wasn't in the It wasn't in the sort of, if I followed the logical path for me, it wasn't there. No, it didn't look like Greg's hair, does it? There are snakes in the garden. In fact, we had a snake in the garden just yesterday. We get all sorts. We get cobras. We get all sorts of different snakes. Jeff. Hey, Greg, how you doing?
Snakes.
Yeah. We get really big cobras actually, and we get cobras, scorpions. We get also these centipedes with a big stinging tail. They're about this long, and there's you get sort of used to the animals in your own country, don't you? And what's dangerous and what's not. And so, like Thai people, if they see like a cobra in the garden, it's no problem. The cobra's going to go, and they shoo it away, but it will just go. If they see a scorpion, it's no problem. There's a way to deal with that. You just get a stick, and then it will just go to sting the stick, and you hook it up, and then you can just go and throw it over the fence or something like that. Get it away from you. But these centipedes, nothing will shift a crowd of Thai people like these centipedes. Because they just go like straight on. They don't move for anything. They'll just go, and if they come across you, they'll like sting you basically. And whereas snakes, like if the snakes usually heard you long before you see it, and it's already making its exit. They're not like aggressive in terms of they're not going to come and hunt you down to get you. Whereas these centipedes, they just go across the ground, and they'll if you happen to be in its way and they don't move to go around you, they'll have you. Let me just pull one up because it is they're pretty massive. I remember the first time I encountered one. I was actually with a group of friends, and we're all sitting around, and then there was one of them at the table, and I was there thinking, like, oh, that's interesting. What's that? And everybody else had already just scarpered, just completely got out of the way. It's quite funny. Let me get some pictures up of these. There you go. That is what they look like. But they've got this stinging tail to them, and they're huge. They can get up to almost a foot long. Some of them, but they're just massive. Most of them aren't that big. Horrifying. Yeah. Let me find one with. Yeah, I mean, look at this. Sorry, I probably shouldn't put this up here, but there you go. There is one tackling a mouse or a rat. Yeah, they are horrific. And so yeah, you definitely.
Crazy. I literally can't even imagine what you're showing me right now.
So there is one on somebody's arm.
Wow. Wait, that one's not dangerous, or it is dangerous?
Yeah,
but
it is dangerous. Yeah. So that's the head end, and that's the tail end, but they can sting as well. So they're pretty. Just so we get those in the garden, and what those like to do is they like to hide under stuff. So you see how big they get. Sorry to horrify you all at your evening time. But yeah, they like to go like underneath stuff, so they'll get underneath things and curl around. So yeah, Paul's not coming to Thailand anymore. Yeah, so if you're in the garden and you've got like things on the covering the ground and you're like lifting them up or doing work in the garden, whatever, you have to watch out for these sorts of things. Yeah. But the snakes are right. We also get these big lizards. Let me just see if I can find this one. There was one of them, and we've got one that lives around.
Or don't find it.
This is a pretty cool video. So let me just see. I'll show you one of these ones that got into a 7-Eleven. Hang on, let me see how I can do this now. Right, let me just put on this screen sharing overlay just while we're doing show and tell. I'm going to just put this to here. There we go. And what I want to do is crop in. Right, hopefully you should be able to see this. So this is a 7-Eleven in Thailand. Whoops, just crop in a bit more. Sorry for the break in the usual scheduled programming, but let me just play this now. Let me see. Also, can you? I don't know if you can hear my sound. Let me just get this on a minute. Activate system audio. Right, have a look at this. So this is a lizard that had just gone into a 7-Eleven.
Is that a Komodo dragon?
It's not, but it's kind of similar. Yeah, similar family, I suppose. But Yeah, they're pretty big. So we've got one of those that lives in the creek just around the back of our house. So that one sort of comes around. It's another one of those things that like, it doesn't, they don't come, you know, they're not looking for trouble. They're just quite peaceful, really, I suppose. I mean, they're a bit aggressive if you actually try and do anything with them. But yeah, the wildlife in Thailand.
That is classic.
Yeah.
We get some snakes and stuff here, but nothing like that.
Yeah.
We have a good amount of animals, I guess, in the Colorado area as well.
Paul wants a sleep.
You know, by the way, Paul, I was thinking, I was going to suggest this to the co-working group. We need more testing anyway. Maybe we can just do them in Zealous.
Hey, that's quite a cool idea.
Because we have everything built in, and we can have 15 people on stage, I think, at the same time.
Let me just...
Who's here? I'm going to guess it's Michael.
You guessed wrong. Let me see. Now, where's Aubrey gone?
All right.
Minute. One second.
It's Rich, isn't it?
No, it's not Rich either.
Or it's Matt.
It's actually...
Where's Matt? I haven't seen Matt in a while.
No, I haven't. He's been quite busy, I think, because they've been opening up, so they've got back to work. Now, I'm not seeing your picture. I'm going to have to spoil the surprise. It's Aubrey. But Aubrey, I can't see your picture. I had the same thing with... what was the issue on your side, Greg, when you tried to log in the first time? Did it just not come up?
It said it couldn't connect or something, and so I had to reload it. Right. It made me reload, and then I reloaded it, and then it worked.
Yeah. So, Aubrey, I'm not seeing your picture. I think I can hear you, but I can't see your picture.
Yeah, I'll try again.
Cool. Okie dokie. She's going to try and reconnect. So with the animals, we don't really have anything to worry about in the UK, but with I mean, there's just literally almost nothing that can no dangerous animals as such there. So, and it's Rich.
Oh, we got fake one tech. No, wait,
He's got
wait a minute.
Fake one.
Hang on. Let me put that back.
Is Rich usually have hair?
Yeah.
What on earth is going on here?
Sorry, I had to read. Oh, come on.
Your mic is on the wrong side.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Let me flip my camera.
Let me just let me
There
just
we go. There we go. All right. I don't know
what's going on.
Oh, you just got censored.
No, there you go. That's what I was doing. Okay, I'm gonna sign out. If you just take over from here, Rich.
I will. Let me see my look at my screen though. Take it.
Yeah.
Let's hear your Trent on Stoke accent though.
Stoke on Trent.
Yeah, I don't know how
Trent.
to do an accent. I'm not. Are you guys hearing me?
Hey, what we can do is we can go to Descript.
I'm on the wrong.
Alex,
sorry, I was on the
Alec
wrong.
read a bunch of words over on Descript, and then we can just emulate his voice.
He wanted me to take. He wanted me to take over and see. I'm not seeing you guys. I'm only seeing me. Am I supposed to be seeing the whole broadcast?
Yeah. I put you on. I put you on.
Oh, there you are.
Spotlight.
There you are. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I understand. Sorry, I was looking at. Get it now.
Aubrey, I'm still not hearing you. That's I'm not seeing you. Rather, I'm not sure. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Not quite sure what's going on
there. Maybe.
Oh, there we go. Hey, Aubrey, hang on. Let me just adjust your camera. How are you doing, Aubrey?
Oh, hey there. How are you doing? Okay, sorry.
No problem.
Do I need to try to get in better frame there?
I can move you.
How are you doing, Aubrey?
There we go.
We have iguanas and
I'm doing very
dragons in the
good,
back.
thank you.
We have iguanas and dragons in the backyard on the cottage on the way to the garden.
Oh.
Centipedes and whatever. I'm just no good at.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to shoot you guys. I'll leave you all to it.
I should have a stuffed animal or something, and I can call him Dale.
Yeah.
Or a little. Oh look, here's my son Dale. Popped up. Be this little fish.
You should just get the book. You should just hold the book up.
Which book?
Dale Carnegie.
Any of them. Any of them.
Oh, that's a different book. Yeah, Dale. Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Nice.
That is a really good effect, though, Rich. It's actually, it's pretty, works pretty well, doesn't
I
it?
can't believe how good it is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
When I saw it, I said, "This is fantastic."
Sorry, here's cat. Can gone.
So how are you doing, Orbs? Anyway, it's great to see you and have a chat.
Yes, it's great to see you and be around. I'm doing good, thank you.
Cool stuff.
And
Cool
how
stuff.
are you doing?
Very,
What is
very
that?
good.
Oh, it's a cat jumping in front.
Yep.
Thought it was another one of those dragons.
Cats. Oh, yeah, exactly. I'll compare the cat to them.
So are all of you doing Vlogmas this year?
I think I will try. If live streaming is allowed, I will try. Actually, I could do it for
anything. Anything on video. There was a guy, Brant Collins. He did it every day. He just took a walk and he edited his whole challenge. The way he challenged himself was he shot and edited on the iPhone. He used the LumaFusion or something like that. So that's the way he approached it, just as a challenge to try to do that every day. So he did like a 10-minute walk and talked about whatever he was talking about. And then, anyway, some of it was live, but most of it was edited.
I actually wrote one of the first things I wrote for my son was these like 30 life lessons that I learned, while in my first 40 years of life. So I actually was thinking about turning those into videos because they're all like things that meant a lot to me anyway.
Well, that's a month's worth right there. That would work.
That's a month's worth, yeah. And I wanted a video version of them anyway, so that's a good excuse to put it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. You got a plan. You're on it. Fantastic.
And how about you, Orbs? Are you doing Vlogmas this year?
Yeah, I actually decided to challenge myself and start early, like now. I'm like, I was going to do it every day in November and December.
Oh, cool.
I already missed like 2 days. Oopsie.
Never mind. It's the warm up, isn't it?
There we go. I'm saying all the way.
Uh-huh. I think with any of these things, it's about not beating yourself up if you do miss one or two. I remember when I started meditating, I used the Headspace app initially, and one of the things in there was it always had tracking, like if you've missed a day. And I thought, well, the last thing you want is a meditation app making you feel bad if you've missed a day when you're supposed to be all zen-like, and then you miss a day and like, oh, I've ruined my run streak. So
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. So if you miss one, it doesn't really matter, does it? It's good to aim for something.
Yeah,
but
we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be like you, Alec. I mean, you're doing like everything and then some. So,
well, yeah, I've been I've fallen out of my routine recently though. So, but I'm not beating myself up about it too much.
That's what we're for.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that's it. And well, that's what Doc's for as well. My little coach sitting on my shoulder.
There you go.
What did you do last year, Rich, for Vlogmas? I haven't been back and watched. I need to go back and just see what other people did. But what was your
just random stuff? It's on my regular channel. I think I have a playlist, but I did. One day I went to the car wash. One day I delivered an order to a customer. One day I made cheesecake and dropped it in the middle of the kitchen on accident. I got it on a video. It was pretty funny. Stuff like that. Made steaks. I mean, different things like that. Just stupid stuff. It was just, I was just trying to get fast at editing. And that's really what it trained me to do. Because you shoot all day and then you edit at night. And it takes a couple hours to do all that. And then you have to post it. And the goal was to get it posted. For me, my goal was to get it posted by 8 or 9 o'clock. Right. They started those reviews about that time.
Got you.
So,
right.
So that was what I was trying to do. But it was, and a couple of times the English guys, Chris Wood, and there was another guy, Michael something. They're UK guys, and they did their reviews at 8 o'clock their time. So that's way early for us. So I missed those times.
Right. Got you.
So,
Mhm.
but they didn't want to wait till 3 a.m. to see a review. So that's why they started taking over a couple of those. But that's okay. I mean, it does. They do whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Doc said
Yeah,
he
well-
didn't like the reviews, but I really got a kick out of them. They were good.
Yeah, I suppose it's a way
They
for
were-
everyone
Who did
to.
them?
I mean, it looked pretty. The one that you tagged me in just so I could have a look at it. It was pretty cool. It's a way to.
Yeah, well,
Then you get to see
well,
everyone,
it
don't
gave-
you, Ron?
Well, it gave you a way to be accountable, and I mean, not that there's nothing if you don't do it, but it's just you didn't want to be the one. Well, to me, I didn't want to be the one that didn't post one.
Yeah, got
So-
him. Yeah,
So,
the accountability.
But
is
no, it
definitely
was it was great. Yeah, for me, it was fun.
good.
Dude,
So coming up, I don't know
Did
what
you
I'm going to
got,
do next time. I don't know if I'm going to do the same thing or not. I might do something different. I don't know. Anyway, sorry to step on you there, Ops. Go ahead.
no, I was just like, you even have light bouncing off your head. Like, wait a
I worked on
second.
this.
I'm like,
I
that's
worked on this a
pretty
lot. I went and got
awesome.
the same lights and the same 4 bulbs that he was just talking about.
Yeah.
You partially flooded your basement. Just
That's
to really
right,
get
that's
the
Right. I'm about to go have a 3-year-old
Nude of it all.
jump up
Yeah.
and down in the living room.
Albert.
So what about?
See-
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. He's just
Oh.
saying, just Albert saying he's used to seeing you on Zoom on Saturday or on comments.
Yep.
Yeah,
There
always
we go.
great to see you.
So what did y'all say about Vlogmas? It's like just it doesn't have a time limit or anything. So sorry, this will be my first.
You can do 30 seconds, you can do an hour. It doesn't make any difference. They're not going to review an hour-long video, but they might do 2 or 3 minutes of it. And they'll talk about your intro, they'll talk about your audio and your lighting and whether it sounds good and that kind of stuff. I mean, even then, I mean, they may not, like there were a couple of times they didn't get to everybody because there were so many. So anyway, it's just do really whatever you want to. It's really it's really more of a excuse for you to do something. Just get yourself going.
Yeah, that's cool. Yep, there we
Quit
go.
screwing
Get
around.
me going.
Quit screwing around like I screw around and don't do stuff. And I have a list of stuff I want to do and I don't do it. And so anyway, that's what it's for.
I find I'm very easily distracted, so you might be surprised to hear. But like it's like with the keyboard maestro thing, where I planned to make all those other videos this week, and then the new update came out, so I thought I've got to dig into that. And then I started tinkering with all of my existing macros. I was like, right, well, what can I do here? How can I streamline this? And so I'm a bit of a one for that, going down a rabbit hole. Hi, Carly, by the way.
That surprises me about you because you seem like you're focused on getting stuff out. Like I want to make 5 shorts and you make 5 shorts. That's the way it seems anyway.
Yeah, I think what it is I can be very focused on stuff, but I can also be very focused on the wrong stuff at times.
Okay.
So sometimes I can like think like, oh, that's interesting. I'll just go down a rabbit hole with it, and I can be really focused on doing stuff. But in the meantime, there's other stuff that needs to get done that I'm not getting done. And it just, I set the intention of doing basically not a video a day, but averaging a video a day. And I'm already 22 behind. So although it's no big deal and I'm not beating myself up about it, I've clearly not kept to that sort of making time for it. And I've got distracted.
Well, I
by other
thought you were ahead for a long time. Are you not ahead anymore?
No. In the beginning, I was way ahead for like the first 100 videos, and so I was. But now I'm actually behind by like 20. So
you've missed days. There's been days that have gone by and you haven't posted a thing.
Yeah. And it was never it was never a video a day. It was always an average. I wanted to do 100 videos in my first 100 days, but I wasn't ever. I mean, the first 100 days, there were some days where I posted 3 and some days when I posted none. So it was just like that. Yeah. But the past I had. This week I posted, this will be like the 4th video, I suppose. The week before I did 7, but then the previous 3 weeks I did like 1 or 2 each week because I just had a load of stuff going on with work. I was one of these like 16 hour a day conference things for 1 week.
Yeah.
So there was all just stuff coming up. But Vlogmas, that's part of the reason for doubling up on the videos as well, is I'll just catch back up. So
Right.
I just want to know that at the
I'm
end.
surprised. I'm surprised that you said that you lost subscribers when you don't post every day.
I don't lose subscribers. I don't gain as many new subscribers. So it was my daily subscriber count that goes down.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it. I see now.
Yeah.
They don't unsubscribe. They just don't.
No.
Get as many.
Yeah. So I mean, like the week when I posted every day last week and got back into it, and I'd had this sort of jump up in my subscribers, which came about when it was when I did a video about, I think it was about the latest Ecamm or something like that, and there was a distinct jump up, and it was the same week that I started posting shorts as well, and I noticed a jump up then, and so last week I was basically getting 10 new subscribers every day. But then, like this last sort of 4 days, it's gone down from 10 every day to 6 every day to 5 every day to, or, step down. So basically, when I don't post videos, obviously there's not new stuff going out to reach people. So I am still getting an increase, but just not as much as when I post, basically. So, but it's like the shorts thing. I mean, about consistency and sticking to things. The shorts thing started with what was it? I've forgotten the name right now. TikTok. This is my memory going. TikTok. So I started out with TikTok saying, right, I'm going to do 5 a day, and I did 5 a day for 6 days, got 30 out there, and then didn't do any more. And it's because I hadn't really thought about it and got it in as part of a habit of doing it, basically. So then I sort of rekindled this and said, right, well, I'm going to do it as YouTube Shorts. So I put all of those out onto YouTube, and I did a whole week of just YouTube Shorts, probably arguably too many because I wasn't posting the main content. So that probably just became an annoyance in people's timelines, seeing not another short. So, but it was my intention to keep going and basically trying to average a video a day and a short a day. And the shorts don't count towards my 365 goal. They're sort of separate. But I just need to get back into that. And it's like, if I just on a weekend just record 6 or 7 of them, then I've got a week's worth of shorts. So that's what I need to do. But it's just, again, the past couple of weeks have just been timings have not been right to actually do that. But I need to just get into a proper routine with that and get it into the flow of stuff.
Well, your studio build will be fun to watch. You can document that. That'll be good.
Yeah. I've got lots of ideas for that, and there will obviously be the inevitable videos. About
how old are your kids?
So Dale's like 2.5. Then there's Emily, who's 5, and Jasmine is 9.
Oh, so the 9-year-old's probably old enough to hold a camera.
She is. She is, yeah, and actually she's much more of a sort of a natural on camera. She'll be having a YouTube channel before you know it. I'm just conscious about not quite sure how to go about that, or I don't know. I've got obviously concerns.
Well, you don't want to expose them too much. But I'm just saying, if you need somebody to hold a camera while you're sawing a board or putting together a frame or something like that.
Yeah, we make they make little videos. So Jasmine and her sister make videos and send them to the grandparents and stuff like that, and it's quite hilarious. But
there was somebody I don't know who it was saying, it was like on some celebrity, late night talk show celebrity was talking about how his kid gets on his phone and makes videos and says like and just makes her recordings for herself. Yeah, says be sure to like and subscribe and whatever, and it's just pretty funny. Smash that like button.
That's exactly. I was just about to say that's what Jasmine says. She records these videos. She says, "Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe." And she sends this to her
Is that going to be a thing? Like, who started that?
I don't know, but it is a thing. Yeah, smash that like button. It's like,
even though the video never goes anywhere, it's just funny that the kids know how to say that.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Jasmine's got onto this thing about people can do like product reviews and things like that, and then they'll get sent stuff. So I was thinking, right, well, what you want to start reviewing, Rolex watches or diamonds or things like that.
No kidding, yeah.
But she wants to review slime.
Well, there's a kid that has millions of subs that makes he's a 10-year-old kid or 12 or something that has been doing it for a while. I don't know who it is, but he's one of the top 10 tubers around.
Yeah, some of the ones that they watch, they are like, millions and millions of subscribers. I think there's a guy, if you've got kids, you might have seen this guy called Blippy. And he does right. So it's so terrible, but his net worth is something like 40 or 50 million now, and he just makes these kids videos. And if you look at like the channel analytics and stuff like that for him, it's just phenomenal how much money there is in children's YouTube videos. Yeah.
My son has a blippy suspenders and bow tie.
Right, yeah. I think he's pretty cool, actually. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's a little bit silly, obviously, and a little bit wacky, but there's some. It's not totally inane stuff. Like you get a lot of stuff that comes up on when the kids are watching YouTube, that's just totally sort of no. You just can't see there's any
Alex
sort of.
learned about cobras.
Yeah, that's it. I can't see there's any sort of like educational value in it or anything like that at all. Whereas in the olden days, there used to be like kids TV, and that you always felt like there was some thought had gone into it potentially. Do you know what I mean about what the point of the what they were watching? Whereas, it's easy for YouTube to be just a source of total nonsense, basically. So
Yeah, Ryan is huge. He's like $200 or $300 million business.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I need to start doing Take One toys.
Oh, yeah,
There you go. Yeah,
Just
take one.
explain.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I get paid for just playing with toys all day. I mean, to be honest with you, I kind of feel like what I'm doing now is playing with toys. Really, it's just big boys' toys, aren't they? But
True.
yeah.
And get to where you they start sending you stuff for free. Like I think Tom Buck put one out today or yesterday where they sent him $150 mic arm.
Uh-huh.
They didn't ask for a video. They didn't ask for anything. They just said, "Oh, here's a gift."
Yeah,
And
I've had a few people.
Video, make one.
I've had a few people contact me, like literally when I'd got like 10 subs, somebody said, "Oh, will you review our product? We'd like you to review our product. All you've got to do is go and buy it on Amazon, leave us a 5-star review with your video, and then we're going." I thought, right, okay, then forget that.
Wow.
There was somebody.
Those are the worst. Yeah.
There was somebody who wanted to send something like it was I can't remember the brand of it. It was like some other brand mic or something like that. But I didn't bother, to be honest, because it's not something I'm going to use. So I'm not really. I don't know. I'm just I'm going to be careful about those sorts of things, I think.
Did I miss? Was there a Loop Dead video yet? Not the unboxing one.
No, that's what I said about this week. I got it on the end on when was it, Sunday, but I just haven't got around. I haven't even set it up yet. I haven't done any more than I did in that video. That's I know. I've got to hold my tech head in shame with that.
Well, I'm super pumped about that, by the way, because I'm like, oh man, I could use it for music to do, because if I'm playing guitar, I can't press buttons, but foot pedal.
Oh yeah, the foot pedals. I am using the foot pedals.
Use the loop deck as a foot pedal. Let's just be clear.
Oh, sorry. See,
Yeah.
I missed.
Yeah, so there was two bits of tech arrived this week. There was the foot pedals and then the loop deck. The foot pedals took no time at all to set up. Although I tell you what, I actually made a bit of an error in my setup video for the foot pedals. Let me quickly show you this, because what I said was I used what was it called? There was an app that I used for it. It was Carabiner Elements to set up the foot pedals, because basically the foot pedals, there's 3 of them and they're mapped to A, B and C. So Carabiner Elements you can use to remap different key strokes and things like that. So I had it remapping the A, B and C from the foot pedals to then be, I think it was F12, 13 and 14 or something like that. And then I used that in Keyboard Maestro to trigger whatever I wanted. But then somebody, I forget the name now, in the group said, well, you know that in Keyboard Maestro you can actually just take an input from a specific input device rather than like just a global, A, B or C. So I didn't know that. So that's something I learned about Keyboard Maestro. And I can just quickly show you. So in Keyboard Maestro, here I've got it set up with my 3 foot pedals. And what I was doing before was, let me just make that a bit bigger. Whoops, that's the wrong one. Hang on a minute. So basically with the Keyboard Maestro, you can have like a hotkey. So instead of hotkey, you can come down to that and say this device key. So basically now I've got my 3 foot pedals, and then if I just click on one of them, then you can see it's got the foot pedal and pedal A, or the key A, B and C. So actually I could have done it all in Keyboard Maestro rather than in using that carabiner elements. But there you go. But yeah, the foot pedals are great. And I just use that then to flick back and forth. So I've got one for switching back and forth between the scenes. So that's my middle foot. I've got one to go to my main scene is that one. Although I've switched it to Rich. I'll switch that back a minute before I forget. There we go. But if I press the middle pedal, it just goes back to that. And then I've got one to take the comments off the screen as well. But what you can also do with Keyboard Maestro is you can set up a macro to activate or deactivate macro groups. So basically for my my setup as part of my sort of live stream chain macro group, where it organizes all of my screen, opens all the windows I want, I'm going to have one to switch it over to my live stream foot pedal macro group. But then when I'm doing my other videos, I can switch it over to a different group so it'll do different things. So that's a way that you can sort of program that in Keyboard Maestro. Yeah, I've got quite a lot of Keyboard Maestro videos to come.
Let's say, yep, they're just piling up. This one, this one, this one.
My list of videos now is like over 150. So I really do need, Rich, you should just get on the case and start helping me out with them. Now that you've got.
Have you ever used AppleScript or Automator?
Yeah, I do use AppleScript and Automator, although the new update with Keyboard Maestro replaces some of that stuff. I'm not a really big AppleScript guy. I'm not like somebody who just sits down there and thinks like, oh, I want to do this and I'll write the script, like I know it inside and out. I tend to be kind of like, oh, I want to do something, let me figure out how to do it kind of person with that.
I used to be, I have a lot of scripts that I've used like for 10 or 15 years that don't work anymore reliably. So I have to actually open the script and run it by it rather than just execute it with a keyboard. So
got you. Yeah.
I just wonder if I could use Keyboard Maestro to redo that stuff because I don't want to relearn AppleScript. Things change. I mean, different software capabilities change, commands change, and things like that. And I don't want to get involved in it anymore like I used to.
I think the latest update in Keyboard Maestro 10 is going to basically replace the stuff that I previously would have done with, certainly with Automator. There was some things like you can create, what I used Automator for before was creating services. So, Apple services that sit up in the services menu. You couldn't do that before with Keyboard Maestro, whereas now you can. So there's other things like that. Yeah. I've got a lot of Keyboard Maestro videos to do. And just to answer this question about the, sorry, go on, Rich.
I was going to say, I'll wait. I'm patiently waiting. So
yeah,
get with it.
That's probably going to be next week. It's sort of my initial beginner's guide to Keyboard Maestro series, and I'll stick some stuff in there. But okay. In terms of these foot pedals, the reason why I actually got them was I do some stuff with Ecamm Live where I'm not sitting down at a desk, so I'm doing like some standing presenting stuff. And so for that, if I don't have the Stream Deck in front of me, I'll be doing stuff where I'm presenting with like a Keynote, and that's just brought into Ecamm, so I'll be using my little remote thing for that. But then to do things like switching scenes and starting and stopping and stuff like that, that was the my sort of use case for the foot pedals. So that's why I actually got them. But then now I've got them, it's a bit like when I got the Stream Deck, I sort of figured out all these other use cases, and actually it is quite handy just having the thing, so I can just take that comment off with a press of a foot pedal. I am now thinking, because this is a 3-pedal foot pedal, so now what I'm thinking is, well, I could just get like 3 of them and have 9 pedals, and then I could
don't you have to look down there and see which one you're hitting? Don't you have to keep looking down on the floor?
No, it's under the desk. I can just, because it's sort of between where my feet are, so if I just move my feet in, I can feel that my feet are on the edge of the pedal now, and so I can just put, it's just kind of becomes intuitive, so I can feel like where the edge.
If you get 9 of them, you're gonna have it, or 3
more. Yeah,
if
you get 9 of them, I'm gonna have to think. And so what I was Greg. What? Never mind. So what I was actually thinking was actually hacking them up and taking the pedals and repositioning them, because at the moment, if I've got the sort of ball of my foot in the middle of where they are, they're a bit too far apart to sort of like have my foot pivoting like between them. So it works quite well with 2 feet. But what I could do is just sort of do a MacGyver job and remount them so that basically they're much closer together. So I could literally just sort of go back and forth between them. But yeah. And no, I don't play the organ actually, but
with all the foot pedals,
it is very much like that, isn't it? Let me just get us over to a different scene. I'm not sure if Greg's going to come back. Let me pop that one there, and then I'll pop Aubrey in here. There we go. There we go.
Fantastic.
Uh-huh.
Gosh, look at Rich. He even has the fake one tech. I mean,
I know, it's perfect, isn't it?
committed.
Yeah. If you're
I'm
gonna do something,
impressed.
yeah, you're gonna do something, do it properly.
It was my Halloween costume. So anyway, we haven't exposed Alex's audience to it except for that Zoom call last week. So
I tell you what, there was tears streaming down my eyes then when you were doing that.
it was all I could do not to do this last Friday. So anyway, so excited.
Genius.
Awesome.
Just quickly, so Albert, Kurt Nugent was talking about loopback device and that Ecamm had discounts. Yeah, so they do have a discount for there's loopback, which there's a discount for, and there's the loop deck. So the loop deck, if you should have got an email about it if you're an Ecamm Live user. I don't necessarily want to put out the actual offer code here because it's a Ecamm thing, isn't it? But there is a perks page for. What I'll do is I'll message you, Albert, because there is a perks page for Ecamm if you're an Ecamm user that's got all of the discount codes and stuff like that. So there is a discount for loopback, which is software, and there is also a discount for the loop deck, and it's 15% off for the loop. I can't remember what it is off loop back, but for loop deck it is 15% off the hardware device. And I was amazed as well that there was no postage when I ordered it. No shipping.
I think for loop back the software it's $30 off instead of $100. I think that's the accurate thing.
Right. Cool. Yeah, there's some pretty good discounts in there. People who complain about the cost, because there are the occasional one who complains about the price of Ecamm, although it's not really it's like $1 a day. So if you're going to use it for something, it pays for itself. But if you add up all the like the perks and the discounts and stuff like that, you get it's pretty amazing, really.
Did you sign up for Agora Pulse? Have you tried that?
I haven't. So I've got a couple of those similar things that I use, but I haven't specifically tried that one. Although I did go onto it to look at it. It's another one of these things about like I keep meaning to do more stuff with Descript and those sorts of things as well. Right. But it's just a case of I haven't got around to actually making the time to actually to do it and do all that stuff. So
Descript's the same thing. I did the trial and then I never used it enough, and now I've got it, and I need to either cancel it or use it. So
I'm on the verge of cancelling it until I can say, right, well, I'm definitely going to make time to actually do this, as opposed to it just being there. And then the other one is, I always forget his name, Jarvis.
Forget it. Yeah, same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
y'all are making me feel better. I'm not the only one.
No, it's
you didn't. And like, what?
There are so many tools we can't possibly do them all, can we?
Well, if all I had to do was make videos, I'd be great, but I have a real live 10-hour a day job to do, and that's I'm doing the video stuff to make that job better, so it's not really, I don't know, it's a battle, but anyway, that's the way it goes. And because there are like so many as well, it's a case of if you try and just see all of them and say, right, well, I'm going to do all of these, then you still got to find time to actually work it in, and it become a sort of like the muscle memory basically of just getting in and doing it. So I need to just make sure I get like one part consistent first, and then move on to the next one and sort of add things in like that. But I'm really sort of shiny penny syndrome, like, oh, what's that thing, and go off down a rabbit hole with them. So.
Wow, y'all are making me feel so much better. I thought it was just me.
No, we're all the same in the group.
Yeah, we're all the same.
Oh, gosh, yeah, because my wife is like, what is this? I'm like, I can't hide it anymore.
Oops, I've just realised I've got your names the wrong way around. Hang on a minute. I thought I was being sneaky there and just getting them in the background, but actually I put them the wrong way around.
That's what preview mode's for, bud.
It is, yeah. Well, I got them hidden, and I thought I knew where they were, but obviously not.
There's David Hunt. I didn't know that our names changed today. We'll fix it, David. Martin,
Hey, I can be rich. That's cool. Except I don't have the cool no hair, but it's kind of ish.
Close. Not far away.
Thanks, Paul. Paul's just dropped the link to the perks page in there.
Of
Oh,
course.
but you got to know the password. You got to know the password to get.
You have, yeah.
past it.
Do you know that stumped me for so long because I was trying to log in and I kept thinking it would be my own Ecamm password, and I was like using the same because you know when you're logging in with like Safari or whatever, it will just suggest the password that's the one that it knows for that site. So it's still suggesting just my regular password, and I couldn't get in for ages. And then I emailed them, and they sent over the super top secret high security password.
But it's not Ecamm Fam, which you'd think it would be, because everything is Ecamm Fam. So it's just kind of funny. I don't think it's Ecamm plus perks either, is it? I don't know what I was talking about. Maybe that was. Yeah. I didn't say anything. Did you say something?
I didn't say anything. I didn't hear anything at all.
It could have been you, though. It looks like you. It looks like you.
You've got the perfect alibi now.
That's right.
It was some English guy on the internet.
Yeah. Right. Bloody well right.
So you're using Jarvis, David. It'd be interesting to hear how that's going. I mean, I've seen all the demos and stuff like that. I mean, Joel did a great demo, didn't he, of Jarvis in our little office hours
They've
session.
got some videos that are crazy. Have you seen any of their Facebook group stuff?
I did. I went and watched some of the ones on YouTube. I saw some of those, but
They're insane. It's unbelievable. I can't get Jarvis to work that way. When I sit down and try to do it, I can't get it to work the way they get it to work.
Yeah.
We're writing for my topic, so maybe I need to just study more. But I give up. I just give up and walk away sometimes.
The other thing I've been meaning to do with Descript, I think of these two as like together. I need to get used to using them both. But one of the things I've been meaning to do with Descript is just drop all my videos in to create the captions and then upload all the captions for the subtitles. But it's just one of those things, isn't it?
I'm not a fan of Descript. I don't think it does a good job.
Oh, is it not? Oh, okay.
For me, what we do, it doesn't do a good job. And I use Illustrator. I'm not Illustrator. Premiere. Premiere just came out with captioning as well, or transcribing automatically in their most recent public version, and it works just as well, which is crap. Right. I mean, it's fine, but you have to edit it. You have to edit. You have to read everything and make sure it's right. You can't just. I don't know. I mean, maybe it works better after you do it a few times, and that's what I've heard. But I don't like it. It's hard to edit, and editing in Descript, the interface is hard to me. I don't like editing in a web browser. It's just screwy. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm not a fan. So we'll see how it was whether or not.
The times when I have looked at it, it wasn't one of those things that just struck me as immediately intuitive. Do you know what I mean? It's like I didn't sort of immediately get into it. So, and it's just another one of these. You know, my whole thing is minimum editing, minimum effort after actually creating the stuff. So,
I'm a big keyboard guy too, and I guess they're keyboard friendly, kind of to an extent. But if you don't know the right, I don't know. It's to me, it's clumsy to edit in Descript. But that's just
right.
There's people that do it every day, and they build a whole business around it. So I'm sure it's fine. I just need to get over myself.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one thing I found with the minimum time that I've had with Loop Deck. Actually, I don't find the interface on that as intuitive as a Stream Deck. It's it just doesn't immediately flow exactly how things should work. So I've got to dig into that this week and get my follow-up.
Are you using that? Are you using that or not?
Not really. No, I literally just did the introductory video. I'm using the dials at the moment for like whatever comes up, so like the volume and stuff like that. And in Photoshop, for increasing the brush size and stuff like that, it'll do all of that. But I haven't gone through and done the proper setup, so I haven't got all of the proper tools in place. I'm just using like the default ones, so I can totally see the use case for it. I just haven't got it into my proper workflow yet, and I do like the feel of it.
It'll complement your Stream Deck. It won't replace it. You're not trying to replace it.
I'm not trying to replace it. No, definitely not. And if I had to just choose one, I would definitely still go for the Stream Deck. I do just like the the clunky buttons. The one issue that I thought that I would have with the Loop Deck was the fact that it's just a screen, and so you don't get the sort of tactile feel of the buttons. But actually, there is like separation between them, so you do get these sort of like raised edges between them. So
you can feel. Okay,
you can, yeah. I mean, you've got to be careful you don't actually put your finger on the touch screen, because there isn't a you don't push it, you literally just touch it. So, but you can sort of feel roughly where it is. So it sort of removes that issue that I thought that I would have. But it feels really nice. It's a lot smaller than the Stream Deck, so it's smaller than I was imagining. I'm not sure if that's set up. Maybe it isn't. I'll hold them up this way instead. So that is the Stream Deck, and then the Loop Deck is kind of. Let me get it sort of. Whoops, I need to be. It's quite a bit smaller. It basically goes up to on the Stream Deck. It doesn't go quite to the last row of buttons. It's a bit smaller. And I can also see how the Stream Deck's not really at all portable. I wouldn't think like, I'm going to throw that in my bag and go anywhere with it. But this one really is. It does feel pretty small. And if you take the stand is just pops off the back, and so then it becomes like really slim. It's like a bit thicker than an iPhone, I suppose. But you could literally throw that in a bag. They do sell a case for it. I didn't bother with a case, but they do sell a case that then obviously makes it as thick as the buttons. But yeah, it's really small. I could see, if you're doing stuff like editing and things like that, you could have it in, a bag with a laptop and, take it out with you and stuff like that. But yeah, Stream Deck is not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's impractical.
Behemoth, just bam.
Yeah. But I like the tactile feel of the dials and stuff like that. It's they do, it all feels good quality and solid in that. There is a bigger Loop Deck as well that's got the big wheel at the front as well, the sort of jog wheel or something. So I think if you were really into editing, then that would be a good, potentially good addition as well. But it's basically double the price. So, but
so how much was the one you? How much is the one you have?
$250, I think it is. This was €250. It worked out from the store. I don't know if you can get them. That's the link that they gave us with Ecamm to go through to buy it from the Loop Deck store, and it was €250. But then 15% off, so it was like 215 or something like that, $213 euros. Cool. But then there was no shipping on it either, which really surprised me. So and I got it within a couple of days. So including shipping, I thought that was really good, because I'm used to paying.
Where did it ship from?
For me, it came from Hong Kong. So
is that a big deal going from Hong Kong to Thailand or not?
I usually have to pay for it. Yeah. So I'm just surprised that there was no shipping cost with it. I did have to pay a little bit.
There's not like customs or any kind of international thing going on.
I did have to pay something like that. So it was like another, was it 600 baht, something like that. So that is like, I suppose like $10, something like that, $20.
Oh,
yeah. But I normally have to pay shipping. I'm used to paying like half the cost of the, like if I buy anything from Amazon in the US, which I tend to avoid, but if I buy anything from Amazon in the US or the UK, and I avoid it because of the shipping, it's basically, it sometimes is like, 50% extra just to ship it to Thailand. It'll say, this ships to Thailand, and it's like $17 and shipping's $18. Or it's $50 and shipping's $17. So it just becomes not cost effective to do that. And that's because Amazon are pretty good at adding in the worst case possible for the customs. So sometimes you receive the thing and then you say, you've had a rebate because it didn't cost as much as we anticipated. So they're quite good about that.
So you don't have Amazon in Thailand?
There's no Thailand Amazon, no. We have a thing called Lazada, which is similar. It's like an e-commerce site.
You've mentioned it before.
Yeah. But that's pretty good. You can get loads of things from that. So yeah, pretty extensive. So that tends to be where I buy all my stuff for. Bought my Stream Deck from there, the mic from there, and everything like that, and it works out similar price to the US.
That's good.
Yeah. So I guess are you tempted by a Loop Deck?
No, I don't have the room on my desk, and I don't want to open another can of worms. How about you, Rob? You gonna get one?
Oh, me? No way. I'm like, no, I just need to actually get my Stream Deck set up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I obviously only did it for to help out the loyal viewers, not at all my gadget geek in me. But it was with having Ecamm. Sorry, say again.
I said, that's so noble.
Yeah,
Maybe I
yeah,
should do
yeah.
that, right? Gosh.
I can certainly see the like the dials though are going to be useful for some of the stuff I do. So it'll definitely be a case of just sort of in addition to the Stream Deck. But yeah, well, after I've had it for a good while, I'll give a comparison because some people will be looking to choose between one or the other. And my sort of thinking at the moment, if you don't need fine adjustment of things with dials, then I definitely think the Stream Deck's the one for me.
When's the last time you did comment, Alex?
I'm just looking down now. Hey, Dean. Oh, great video, by the way, Dean, that you did. They're doing the Ecamm, what's it called? The Ecamm challenge at the moment in the group with text overlays with Anna and Fulgens, and Dean did a great one. So, yeah.
Is he the one that did the Instagram page in the middle of it?
Yeah.
That was a fun one. I remember that.
Yeah,
good.
really, really cool.
Loop Desk. Check it out.
They were so Loop Deck were running a special where you could get the case included, but it was it ran out at the end of October. But also you couldn't then use the Ecamm code with that. So it worked out that you paid full price for it, but you got a free case, or you could take the 15% off with the Ecamm code. And because I didn't really think I'd be using it too much, I went with the discount instead. Hey Michael, another UK contingent in the house. Yeah, gas is always an issue with me. Gear acquisition syndrome.
I think that's with everybody, huh?
Yeah. I've got a new iPad mini on the way as well. I've been waiting for an iPad mini since I dropped one a few years ago and broke it. And I went with the full-size iPad Pro. I say full-size, the smaller of the two, actually. So I've had that for years, although my daughter tends to pinch it and use it most of the time these days. But I've been waiting for an update to the iPad mini. And they did bring out one like 2 years ago, but it was just the same thing and no real... It just felt like they weren't really giving it much love. But with this new one that's come out, I thought it was time to get back into it. I like the form factor of it because the other iPad, I don't take it with me. It's too big to carry around. Because when I go out, I tend to use my what's it called, Peak Design tech case, but I just use it as my little man bag with all my crap in. But the iPad will actually fit in that. So going out to the coffee shop and stuff, it doesn't feel like I'm lugging something heavy around.
Oh wow! So you prefer the mini size?
Yeah, definitely. Because if I'm doing anything like, I know there's some people who do like lots of work on iPads, but for me, it's like my real work I'm doing on the computer. But I like to have the iPad Mini for taking notes, doing stuff like I use OmniFocus a lot, so all my task planning and stuff like that I do on that. Yeah. Yeah. The Toms do help out with the gas issue, don't they? But yeah, it's one of those things as well. Like they say like the best camera is the camera that you've got in your pocket. So having it on your iPhone and stuff like that. For me, it's like the iPad's the one that you've got with you that's easy to carry around. And I just found that the regular size iPad is just a bit too big to just sort of be carrying around properly, whereas the mini can literally almost fit in your back pocket. Not that I would necessarily carry it around like that, but it's just a lot more portable, so more likely to carry it around with me. Yes, watch out for sudden bursts of gas.
Yep, you gotta watch out for those. They get you.
Do you use iPads?
Me? Well, I had a mini years ago, and then I didn't use one until, what was it? Not the last one, the one before. I went ahead and got it and got the keyboard. Whoa. I'm like, that, well, it still is my laptop. I have the mini, and then I have that. As much as I want the MacBook Pro, I'm like, my wife said no. So, yeah. But yeah, I use all the time. Great thing for me, I'm like, dude, it's just easy. Right in here, and I'm just take it and go. So, yeah, I'm very thankful for it. It works well, works great.
Do you use iPad, Rich?
Definitely taking notes.
I've got one, but it's an old one. It's an iPad 4. I've probably had it for 7 or 8 years, and it doesn't.
Right.
I think the latest OS it runs is 10,
Uh-huh.
so it doesn't. A lot of the stuff doesn't work on it anymore.
Uh-huh.
Like I basically used it for Netflix and stuff like that. I never really used it for anything.
Got you. Yeah.
And I keep looking. You know what Craigslist is?
Oh yes. Yeah.
So I keep looking. I have an alert for an M1 iPad to come across. And nobody's. I mean, they still want as much money as they want them new. And
Right.
even the Apple Store, the refurb part of the Apple Store,
Yeah.
doesn't. They never have an M1 iPad. They always have the A12, whatever is the one that's available.
Got you.
So,
Right.
But yeah, I don't want to pay full retail for it. So no, I'm not going to buy one.
Uh-huh. One of the things about the Mini is they don't have a keyboard case for it, obviously because it's quite small. But I've actually ordered one of these things. Let me just show you this. Because one of the things about these portable Bluetooth keyboards for devices is they're usually too small and unworkable. But this one is it's exactly the same size as a Mac keyboard. So when it's folded up, it ends up being I guess what's the size of it? Like 6.5 inches by 4 inches, something like that. But when it folds out, then it's actually a full size keyboard, and it folds out and it's got little legs, and the battery life on it's really long. And then there is a backlit version and one without a backlit, and then you can sort of change the color of the backlighting as well. But it seems to have had pretty good reviews. It's only like $50 or something like that. So I thought I'd give one of those a go so I can still do my typing on it.
If that's a full size keyboard, that's not a bad deal anyway. You might be able to use it for.
Yeah, and
I'm using this. I'm using one of these. These Apple Space Gray or whatever this thing.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the full size regular keyboard. But if I could fold it up, that'd be great.
Yeah, so I'll let you know how this one goes, and then you can pair it with 3 different devices as well, so you can switch between them a bit like you can with Logitech ones. In fact, this one is so they do make a smaller version as well. And there's one with a trackpad. This is the original version. So this one is the original version where it's got smaller keys, so you can see that that's smaller. Then there's this one which they made with like a track pad with even smaller keys on it. But then the one that I just showed you is the one. I wonder if they've got a picture of it next to an actual keyboard. But yeah, it's just literally full size.
So we go.
So yeah.
Paul Duncan says once you make a video, he'll decide.
Yeah, well, video's coming soon.
Yeah. Crazy, huh? Just these guys. Watch
out. The best one is in your pocket. Also, the Sony or Canon about to drop again and again. Are they coming out with some? Am I missing that? Are they coming out with some new stuff? Not sure about that. Not sure what that's referring to. If there's some new stuff coming out.
All right.
I'm getting
distracted.
distracted.
No, I don't. Just the ZVE10.
Is that what you're using? Is that what you're using, Orbs? Yeah.
Yes.
And how have you found that? Because that's going to be my next camera. Actually, I will upgrade mine. So.
Oh, fantastic! I love it. I think it's great. I've been, how do you say, I've given up on Canon, which is sad, but we're stuck, and the crew, everybody's like, oh, Sony is way to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, just cut the crap, cut all the stuff, and just go easy-ish. So, yeah, just got to set up. Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's frustrating because I'm like, dude, with Canon, it was so easy. Just turn it on. It was already connected, always connected, and had the battery. Like, it was great. This, I'm like, every time you got to press a button, to get into streaming mode. But
all right.
Other than that, I mean, yeah, I love it. You're gonna love it.
I'll have to ask Doc about that, because I'm sure he was saying that he's basically just got his on and switched on, and he almost, does he say he doesn't switch it off, or I can't remember now, but he's I think he's got his setup in such a way that it's basically good to go. Might be worth asking about that, because I'd be interested to know about that. Because yeah, with my I've got a Canon EOS 60D that I'm using, and that's basically I just switch everything on, and it's just there and on.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I leave my ZV1. My ZV1s are on all the time. I
are they?
don't ever turn them off. Yeah, I don't ever turn them off.
Right. And have you got those? Is it Camlink? Is it you're using for that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeff's asking which lens. Which lens do you use, Aubrey?
Do I have? I forgot. It's. Oh, now I'm gonna have to see.
It's not the one that came with it, right?
And this is really no. It's not the one that came with it. What was it? Is
Sigma
it
16?
Well, no, it's not 16. See, I'm like, crap. I should know all this stuff.
Is it one of those Ron Konkama, whatever? Run.
Well, it was
on
one
sale
of
for
those where it was like on a massive sale, and before it went up,
Yeah. It was like a $400 thing that was you got it for half price or something.
I think something like that. Yeah,
I don't remember the brand. I think the brand started with an R.
Rokinon or
Yeah, something like that.
Rokinon,
Rokinon, that's right.
Think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yep, I think it's great.
Looks like
Yeah.
Sammy's just dropped back into the stream, wondering what's going on.
Yep.
We've teamed up, Sammy. It's my new partner.
Yeah, we're gonna work in shifts. I'm the graveyard shift.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this half of the planet, and he's got the other half.
Yeah.
Gonna dominate.
And I was going to say, what lens have you got on yours? On the ZV1, but it's I forgot. It's
the one that comes with it.
The one that comes with it. Yeah.
Don't have to make a choice on that.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys do daylight saving, Alex?
No, we don't here. No. I was wondering that myself.
Oh,
do you do it where you are?
Start doing math. Yeah, I'm gonna strip because right now it's 6:38 my time and 6:38 your time. So I'm gonna
right.
start doing some math.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll have to figure it out.
Oh, it's next week. It changes. So yeah, the UK changes, but they changed 2 weeks ago. So it's.
Oh, they did. They don't all do it the same day.
No, that's what I was thinking. It's a bit. Why don't everyone just get together and because that makes it even more confusing, doesn't it?
Just do it or not do it, and then do it all, and then do it at the same time.
Yeah, let's all agree the day that we're going to do it.
And we all just get along. I don't understand it, but it's a funny world.
Paul Duncan saying it's the mini-me. Not sure which is which there, though.
Yeah, which is mini, I think.
Yeah.
I know who's mini.
I got nothing. Oh, that was your thing, wasn't it, on your videos last?
Yeah, it was.
I remember.
That's why
I've still got to go and watch those.
It'll haunt me forever.
7:38 in Massachusetts. Yeah, they changed. Oh, yeah, it was last Sunday that they changed in the UK. Yeah, we're just the same all the time, but because we're quite relatively, I suppose, close to the equator, we're in the sort of tropics. So basically, there's no daylight to save. It sort of goes light and dark at about the same time. So it only ever fluctuates by like half an hour. So in the winter, it goes dark at 5:30, and in the summer, it goes dark at 6:30. It's like that much change. Whereas
are you north of the equator or south of the equator?
South, yeah.
Okay. Oh, but you're not so far south to where it's summertime in December. It's summertime all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Whereas in the UK, yeah, I mean, where my parents are is in the far north, actually in Scotland, in Aberdeen, and there, sometimes it's light goes, it gets light at 3 o'clock in the morning and goes dark at, midnight or 1 a.m. or something like that in the summer. But then in the winter, it's really dark.
Holy moly!
Gosh.
So but yeah, here it's just the same all the year round. Everything grows. In the UK, we've got sort of growing seasons of nothing much grows in the garden over the winter, whereas here it's just all the time stuff growing. it's quite good if you like gardening and planting fruit and vegetables and things like that. Jim says it's 1:40 in Hawaii. That's the thing with our little community. It's everyone's all over the place. It's hard to keep track of where everyone are. But I do try and remember Hawaii, obviously, because of office hours as well.
Well, it's going to change my day up because everything's backwards now an hour. Doc didn't change, and we changed, so I got to change things around. Change my calendar around. Anyway. That's okay.
It would be good if everybody just had the exact same time. And then we just still got up at different times. So like here, we'd say, okay, we're getting up because it's 12 o'clock. We'd just get used to that. But everyone would know the time everywhere.
You're right. Yeah,
It would make things simpler.
One
So
thing done.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a Rokinon 12mm f2.
Oh,
Ah,
there you go.
cool.
Yeah.
UK and Europe fell back on Halloween. Messed up your streaming. Oh, of course, yeah, because Keely goes to.
Oh yeah, she does do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Euros.
Yes, we do.
Oh gosh.
Green and brown. So in where I am actually, we do have a cold season. We're technically going into the cold season, which is basically, I suppose, December and January. And what that means is it's still, no, I can't do the conversion. It's basically like 30, 35 degrees centigrade, whatever that is in Fahrenheit in the day. But then in the nighttime, it goes down to sort of 15 or something like that. So it's still just as hot in the day, but in the evening, it goes really cool. So it's my favorite time because it means like sleeping without aircon. I tend to, you might see me on my videos coming up or my live stream with like a fleece on and a hat because it's quite cold. There's no heat in here, so you just get used to it. What's 15 degrees? Let me have a look. What I suppose the lowest it gets down to is like 10, really. 10 C in F. So that would be like 50 Fahrenheit is the lowest it gets like in the nighttime. But then in the day, it's like up to back up to sort of 30, which is like 86. So it just gets really cold in the night, but then up. But we don't have any heating here because it's literally like a couple of months, so there's no sort of heating. Yeah. So it can be can feel a bit chilly, a bit cold.
So is it about 86 year round where you are?
Yeah, more or less. It goes up to 40 sometimes as well, so that's 104. So it's in that sort of like daytime.
Gosh, that's great. That's a big drastic thing.
Yeah, daytime temperatures are usually like 30 to 40 and average around like 30 to, so what's that? Let me say 35. 95 would be kind of like, I suppose, a sort of maximum 30, 35, but then it goes up to 40 as well sometimes. Yeah, but and it's stable like throughout the night. So in the nighttime temperatures is probably about like 78, something like that.
Is it humid there?
Yeah, very humid. Yeah. So we have humidity, but then in the cold season though, it's not as humid. But yeah. I definitely prefer it here to the UK weather because at least here you know exactly what you're getting and you can sort of bet on it. Whereas the UK, you can't really make a bet on. Well, you could probably make a good bet on rain and drizzle and, and cloudy weather, but.
Right.
There isn't necessarily quite the same sort of consistency to it of like in the summer, for example, you don't know whether you're going to get a good summer or a bad summer. And so I like the consistency here. I do still, even after being here for 16 years, sometimes I walk out of the house and there'll be just this really nice sort of sunny day, which there is every day. But it reminds me of being back in the UK when I would walk out of the house and think like, isn't it a lovely day today? And I still catch myself walking out of the house sometimes thinking, it's a nice day. Oh, yeah, it's been a nice day for 16 years. It's not a surprise.
No kidding. Yeah.
But it occasionally catches me.
I wonder if does it ever get old, though? I bet it doesn't.
It doesn't really, to be honest. No, I mean, my mother doesn't like it too much here. She finds it a bit too hot for her, so it's a bit too hot. But for me, I just love it. I suppose it's awesome. Easier for me to remove layers if I get hot. So I'm usually I'm just wearing shorts like out in the garden. That's it. So it's easier for me to remove layers.
That's awesome. It's funny. I just noticed if I bend over, my hair shows up.
Oh, it does. It looks like you got a little wig at the back.
little toupee shows up.
Yeah.
There you go. Flip your hair back.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Great to see you, David. Oh, quick question, David says before he goes. What mic are you using? I've always wondered that, actually. You have got a really nice looking mic, Aubrey.
Oh, thank you. This is the Shure Deluxe 55.
Right. Is that that's the one with
55.
It's got the blue, isn't it? Is it got blue inside?
Yeah. So, and this is just a throwback from like what Elvis days. I'm like, I just thought it was freaking cool.
It does. But, it's one of the coolest mics.
Goes with the
Yeah.
Sorry, my lighting is not set up yet.
It still looks cool.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always thought your mic looked great.
Yep.
Something a bit different to the usual.
Yep. Yeah, it's funny. Both of y'all have the I can't even think.
So I've got the
SM7B.
I've got the MV7, but I've just got the SM7B windshield on it.
Okay, gotcha.
So
Man, that's cool.
yeah. So it's a
Well, that's good. Yeah, I got my wife one. Oops, I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
oh,
but
cool,
yeah,
cool.
Got her the blue
Yeah.
kit.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
Yeah, yours sounds really good, Rich, with the MV7.
No, it's a SM7B.
Sorry, I always get them mixed up. Yeah, the SM7B. Yeah.
Through the Roadcaster with all the bells and whistles and
Yeah.
big bottoms and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah, the Roadcaster still is still on my list for some point in the future, but I just don't need it at the moment. But I'm sure
there's one in Canada that's available, as far as I know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is there?
That's
Oh, right. Is she selling it? Is she?
Yeah.
Ah, right.
Put it on a boat to get it over there to you.
Right. I'll,
Yeah.
think about that.
Maybe make that happen.
Jim's saying, "Oh, the blue LED glow would look cool in Orb's mic." Yeah, it's good. Just having a little light on it actually to illuminate the blue inside the like the little veins. Oh, she sold it. It's gone.
Oh gosh.
For sure. Shucks.
So David's got the MV7 and the SM7B. So it's the same as this. The MV7 with the SM7B shield. Yeah. Yeah. Too late. I missed the boat on that one.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, you missed the boat.
I literally missed the boat on it. Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. One of the things I thought about with the Roadcaster was obviously the dials to adjust things like fade things in and out and all that sort of stuff. So that was part of the reason for the loop deck as well, was if I can sort of simulate some of that stuff, because you can use it to adjust the sliders for the input levels on Ecamm.
Okay.
In theory, I could sort of simulate some of that stuff, like fading music in and fading it out and all that sort of stuff. So I need to get that set up and play around with that.
That might be worth having a loop deck for that, because I hate messing with the sliders with a mouse.
Yeah.
It's the worst. I mean, the numbers are small and you can't read them, so
yeah,
that might be nice to have if you had a little dial thing.
The other thing you can do with it is with the dials, you can have one for the scene select, so you can actually just ratchet down and scroll through scenes. So if you've got a whole load of scenes set up, you could use it to just flick down between them and scroll up and down. You can do the same with the overlays as well. So if you'd got a whole series of overlays, you could use the dial to sort of flick up and down through them. So I know some people use it where they've got a series of overlays that they won't come in one after another. So you could have that with a dial to scroll between them. What else can you do with it on Ecamm? You can do, I think you can do some zooming on it as well, of overlays and things like that. Yeah,
you mean zooming in on like a screen share, that kind of thing, or you mean
zooming in on the overlay? I'm pretty sure you can do that. I'll have to double check that. Let me have a look what else they've got. But then you can set the audio levels. So as well, you can set audio levels. I mean, there's 6 dials, so in theory you could have a dial for each of your guests, so that if you wanted to adjust the if people were coming in, obviously when you've got guests coming in on interview mode, they may have different audio settings and things like that. So you can have a one assigned to each person to adjust the levels of them and things like that. I've got to do a full dive into all of the Ecamm integration that obviously just came out. So I'll I'll be making a video about it. But
I'm like, yep, on schedule, right?
I'm a bit slow, really. I should have had my Ecamm loop deck integration video out by now, but there you go.
Keely's got Apple TV for sale if you want that instead.
Or an antique Chinese cabinet. Well, maybe I need to go with a Chinese theme for my new studio build, and that could be the first piece.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Planning it out.
That is the thing. I do think that can. I can see the Roadcaster obviously if you got, because Rich, you've got a show that you do with forget her name, Amber. So having the Road, so where you're actually running a show and with bringing in sound effects and all that sort of stuff. It's that's the proper use case for it, really. Whereas with me, I still haven't got back to my podcast talking about, not following through with things. I did start a podcast and then it fell flat on its face. But
when did you start a podcast?
I started a podcast the first week that I started a YouTube channel, or in fact, second week. Yeah, and it was called. I literally this is one of these things that I do. If I think about something and plan it, it usually goes all right. I put a lot of thought into it. So the channel, I set this channel up in the middle of April. First video was middle of May, and that's because I spent a month researching everything I needed to do, set up all my, eCam stuff, my overlays, all that sort of stuff, getting all the graphics ready for my website, for all that sort of stuff. I did all of the stuff that you need to do that I needed to do before just getting going. So then what happened is, it's when these little ideas pop into my head and I put literally no real thought into them except just thinking, that's a cool idea, let me do it. Those are the ones that I normally fall on my face with. So 1 week into YouTube, and I was just obviously seeing all these, all these other ideas coming up. One of them was like, hey, why don't I make a podcast to document my YouTube journey? So then I thought, yeah, that's what I'll do. What shall I call it? My YouTube journey. Yeah, that's what I'll call it. Set it up. I literally didn't do any research about it or anything like that. Created the podcast, registered it with Apple or whatever. Found out afterwards that there's like 10 other people who have got one called My YouTube Journey.
Did you publish anything on it? Any episodes at all?
I published 3 episodes. I did one a week for 3 weeks, but I just hadn't got the workflow for it. So, and in fact, for that, I did use Descript for that to take out the ums and ers and stuff like that. Which I just wouldn't do if I was carrying on with it. And I just got out of, I'd never really got into the habit of it, but I hadn't put enough thought and planning into how it was going to fit into my schedule. So, and for the longest time, it was still in the descriptions, like, oh, check out my podcast as well. So I actually took that out recently because there's literally 3 episodes, but I need to figure out how to, and the channel was obviously all about me not doing any editing. And so starting a podcast, which involved me thinking that I need to go in and edit it, which was probably a mistake. I should have just done it as a video and have probably just do it like a live stream. I mean, Greg has mentioned this a few times on when I've talked to him about it, saying, well, what I should do is just have the first half of these live streams should be the podcast where I'm just giving an update on, because I always give an update on what's happened with the channel and stuff like that. Yeah. So I should just do the intro, a bit like... say again, sorry.
Like Doc.
Yeah.
He didn't do it like that. He didn't give updates, but he records it live on his thing, and then he talks to you afterwards. So
yeah.
You do the same thing.
And I was thinking a bit like Tom and Heather do their couples table thing. So that's a live podcast that they're recording, but it's going live over YouTube, and then they do that, and then they have questions and stuff like that. So yeah, I've just got to do that, really.
I think the thing that we do is a podcast. I take the video part of it. I take the audio part of it and trim a bunch of stuff out of it. That's not visual. So, but it
of course it's
about 5 or 10 minutes shorter.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
So I've got to get back to that. But so that is kind of like one use case that I had, because that one, what I did was I recorded it and then I edited in like having music sort of fading in at the beginning and at the end and that sort of stuff. I did 3 episodes. And with hindsight, it would have actually been quite good because it was literally about like what happens if you. The point of my channel really is what happens if you just start and post consistently. And I, shared like the things that I'd set up, how I went about it, how it was grown, and giving an update on my progress. But now we've sort of leapt forward considerably from where I was at that point, so I've kind of missed out that whole process. So.
I would just start over. Yeah. Just start doing it. Just like you're saying. I mean, change the name if you want or whatever, but it would be easy. It would be easy to do. I mean, easy. You'd have to do it. That's easy
Yeah. I think it's that thing, doing it as part of the live means that I've just removed the element of friction, because that's the thing with me. If there's something that's getting in my way that I feel like, it's a hassle, it just doesn't get done as much. So anything.
Well, if you could record it into your phone or into the script and let it transcribe the notes, and then you'd have that much done, and you could just push a button to publish it from there.
Yeah.
Or you can record it in the Anchor, I think. I don't know how that cheap, I say cheap. I don't know how that quick shortcut stuff works, if it works well or not. Enough to use regularly, but there's ways to do it without editing.
I'll have to I've said this before. I'll have to give it a bit more thought and just get it as part of the thing. But
I'll watch your videos. How's that?
Cool. Yeah, the how-to videos. So that was my sort of thing about the Rodecaster, being able to sort of fade those things in and out. But yeah, the loop deck, I could certainly do that now. With this, you could have a button to press to start playing the music, and then like fade it out, and then fade it back in, and stuff like that. So yeah, maybe now I've got the equipment that I need to do it.
Do it every Friday. Do an episode every Friday on your lives when you're giving those updates. Just say, okay, now we're going to start recording the podcast, and do the podcast. Turn off the comments like Knock does, and just record your 15 minutes or whatever, and then you're done.
Cool.
And then we move on. Okay, that's a plan. I'll look.
That's
for
a
it
plan.
Next week.
That's a plan.
Yep, and there we go.
There we go. We've got it sorted. I've got some accountability now. Some people ready to kick
Action
my ass.
item. There you go.
Yeah. Kat does her lives like that. Oh, so does Kat go out as a podcast then as well? Look, I've missed a few comments here. Yeah, shipping a antique Chinese cabinet to Thailand might be a little bit costly. It might be quicker for me actually to just go across Laos into China and get one directly. We're not too far from China where I am. Have you ever, either of you, tested out the Zoom P8, which is a competitor to the Rodecaster? No, I haven't tested out any of these sorts of things. There's that other one, the is it Tascam have come out with basically one that looks like a knockoff, but no, I haven't tried any of those out.
Same thing. Yeah, same thing. Same type of thing anyway.
Desk real estate is precious. Yes, also obviously Keeley's the she's just gone and said it. The minimalist approach. I do like Keeley's whole setup. I do like the whole aesthetic of it. Very very minimal. I am going to need a bigger desk. It's funny you should say that, but that's exactly what I've been designing for the new studio. So what's this one? This one's like 3 foot by 5 foot, I guess. But yeah, I'm going to do a much longer one with a workbench and things like that attached. So cool stuff. Well, I think it is nearly time for me to go because little Dale will be waking up any moment. In fact, he probably is already awake actually, but he's just being extra quiet.
Oh, that's trouble. The kids are quiet.
that is a sign of trouble. If ever they've just disappeared outside, and then suddenly me and May, my wife, will just say, "Where are the kids? What are they doing?" They're very quiet. There's something's going on, and then we'll go out and like Dale will be covered in mud or something, and the girls will be standing next to him. Yeah.
You're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. It's very very late for the UK. And look forward to seeing you in office hours tomorrow. I'll have to send you over a list of videos, Rich, and you can get to work.
Okay, I decided to go ahead and put my hair back on. So
yeah, you're ruining the illusion.
Let's say behind the scenes.
Hang on a minute, let me do the same then. There we go. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I just got green because I like it.
No, you've got a real cool background.
Yeah, I could do this. I mean, I have a different background. I could do this, don't you? Oh, here we go. I'll be in Thailand. There we go.
Let's go.
It's funny when you see people on Zoom calls, professional business meetings, and then somebody always turns up with the video beach background behind them.
What do you think? I like this look. This look is great. I like when people do it like this.
Kind of scary, huh?
Yeah.
His face is cutting in and out.
Yeah.
People are funny. People are funny in the way they do stuff.
Yeah, like that on Zoom. That's another one where the background's half in and out.
Well, yours is all messed up too. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. To be honest with you, the Zoom keying, like when you do green screen in Zoom, I mean, obviously if you've got an actual green screen, it works better. But like when you just got the background behind you, and it tries to pick out the person. That one's pretty poor. But the worst one for me is Microsoft Teams. They've got a green screen effect in there. And even if you've got a green screen, you end up with like this sort of like 1-inch green line all around you. It's
holy moly.
I don't know how it even shipped. Like there's literally no point in it. There's absolutely no point in it. The Zoom one is passable if you have good lighting and stuff like that. But the Microsoft Teams
either of you use Canva?
I don't use
I
Canva.
do,
No.
yeah.
But that background remover is unbelievable. You can put a picture
yeah,
of
that
me
is
inside a crowd, and it will take the whole crowd out except for the one person you want.
Really?
I don't know how it works. It's insane.
Yeah.
It works so good.
Yeah, I used to be hardcore Photoshop, and I'm like, that is amazing. Canva just changed my world.
Well, you can't do that in Photoshop. Not the way Canva does it. Not as good as Canva does it.
Correct.
Right.
As
You
fast.
are
I mean,
correct,
you
yes.
can do it in Photoshop. It just takes a lot of time to draw all that stuff out. Canva does it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
amazing. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I do all my thumbnails in Photoshop, but you can probably tell, I still use the same photos. So one of the things I did in that month before I started was I just sat in front of the camera in the green screen and just took like a load of ridiculous pictures. And then with those ones,
a lot of people do. I think a lot of people do that.
So I just went and removed the green screen the Photoshop way. So I've just got a bank of them. But I should probably try Canva. I did try it actually. But I never went through and like signed up for it and properly used it because it's just
well.
One
If
of those,
you've already got everything isolated, you don't need to. That would be the only use case that I can think of. Yeah,
that's the thing. Yeah, it's just another one of those things that you just hear everyone talking about, and the little shiny penny syndrome comes in of like, oh, what's that? Like Doc keeps talking about it, but I'm using Photoshop and Illustrator and stuff like that all the time. So the only reason I would do it is to actually make videos telling people how to use it, because I know I don't want to start making Photoshop videos, but having something that's all encompassing about for people who are setting up YouTube channels and having all the tutorials and stuff like that they need to do it, then I can totally see why Doc has done it, because it's a great tool to help out people. It's obviously cheaper than Adobe, I'm guessing. But yeah. So it's a good tool for the for most people, I'd imagine, and he seems to be well into it now. So using it over Photoshop, so for what he's doing
for thumbnails and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think he's doing Instagram posts, I guess, on it and stuff. And there's a use for it. I mean,
yeah.
He's not doing color correction and big fancy
no
billboards and stuff like that. But he's
yeah, it's just another time thing for me. It's just another bit of software that I've got to stick on my list and get around to.
But I like it because you can go to any machine, any computer, anywhere, or the phone and edit something if you have to. And all the files are there. So that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
So, but you could probably do that with Creative Cloud. I just haven't figured out how to do it.
Right. Yeah. With the Photoshop, what always got me with that was, or with Adobe Creative Cloud, was you always had to pay for Photoshop Elements and what's the other one on the iPhone. So they were like separate, almost like as a separate thing. You got some of the Photoshop, some of the Adobe stuff, but it was just in the last release that they said now that all Adobe products are free on iOS. If you're not free, but they're included.
Right. Yeah, that's a new thing. Yeah, you're right. It is a new thing.
It was weird though when you're paying for all of the Adobe stuff, and I have Adobe stock as well. To then these little iOS apps are just not included in it. It always struck me as a bit weird, that did, but anyway, I fixed it. I like Jimmy saying he's going to have to do a real live at the beach. Yeah.
Yep.
Make it look crappy like it is actually green screen though, and then just remove the green screen and it's the real scenes there behind you.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ditch 7 o'clock.
Cool.
After 7, I gotta go.
Cool stuff. Well, thanks for coming on, Rich, and making me chuckle with your background. And great to see you too, Orbs. And well, welcome anytime to come and hang out and chat.
Fantastic. Great.
Cool,
well, it was wonderful, guys. Thanks so much.
Cool. We'll see you in office hours tomorrow.
We will. Take it easy, everybody.
Bye, guys. Bye. I need to get up my Doc Rock link, actually. buymeacoffee.com/DocRock to join our office hours group. It's his office hours group, but I think we all take ownership of it in some ways.
There we go. I'm good.
Cool. I'll catch you all tomorrow.
Later.
Cool stuff.
Great.
Right, well, that is cool too. That really did make me laugh, Rich, about your background. And have a good weekend to you, Paul. I'll see you as well tomorrow, Paul. And great to see you, Keely, as well. I'll have a think about the antique Chinese chest. Maybe that could be the new theme for my my new studio. And thanks everyone else for stopping by and coming and saying hello. I'm going to go now because my little boy Dale has just woken up. I can now hear the footsteps. He must have actually had a lie-in. See you tomorrow, Jim. And I'll catch you all a little bit later, somewhere on the internet, if not in office hours or somewhere else. All right, have a great day, everyone. And for those watching on the replay, I will leave a link to some other videos over on the right-hand side. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
Okay.